I'm humbled, blessed, a little overwhelmed, because I could have never imagined being here, standing in this position, speaking to you today. In fact, as I made this speech, I really thought back. In high school, at the end of my junior year, I was set to be valedictorian, and I realized I'd have to give a speech. So I actually changed from an honors class to a basic elective, so it would drop me down in rankings. I graduated third. Didn't have to speak. So, you know, if you don't think God has a sense of humor, I promise He does, and I'm living proof. He said, haha, I'm going to show you. But as I think back to what I want to say and what I want to leave for you guys today, I really want us to understand that life is a journey, and it's full of so many experiences, so many directions that we would never imagine. I would have never imagined here. But this recent part of my life's journey began a little over 2 years ago when I felt called to go to graduate school all the way across the country for something that was a passion, an interest. It's not a career. I'm a teacher. That's what I do. I'm a children's minister. Those are my jobs. But I did it, and I followed God's calling. Got a phone call that said, we have a class starting in 2 weeks. Can you join us? I said, okay, this is what I'm going to do. So I did. And I began this journey of graduate school that is now ending, coming to an end. And I try to think, what have I learned? What do I know? What am I doing? And so today I'm going to share with you a few things that I know at the end of this journey. I know that we are the class of 2013. We were told this, our first class, and I thought it sounded silly and distant and so far away. But it's here, and it's hard to believe. And Nina, who's in my cohort, almost every class would remind us, we are the class of 2013. We are the class of 2013. We made this our goal, and we all shared it, we pursued it, and we went at it together to make it. And so we can reach goals. Whatever goals you have, whatever you set for yourself, reach it. And claim it and say it, because you have to know where you're headed in order to get there. And so as we have reached our goals, we'll begin to celebrate as we walk the stage next week. And I also know that I can reach a goal with God and with a community of support that He sets in place. Jesus says in Mark chapter 10, verse 27, all things are possible with God. God uses ordinary people and prepares them for extraordinary service. The Bible's full of this. Moses, Esther, Mary, the 12 disciples. Have you ever looked at what they were? Paul. They were all regular people who went out and did great things that God called them to do. But none of them did it alone. Moses had Aaron, Esther had Mordecai, Mary had Joseph and Elizabeth. The disciples, it took 12 of them. Paul had Barnabas, Silas, Timothy, and the churches that he stayed in contact with. They all had someone to help them. And that's what it takes. For me, I could not have finished this program without the support of my family, my friends, and my cohort. You see, my husband has spent the past 2 years doing all the extra laundry, all the cleaning, taking care of our now 4-year-old son, and having to entertain him while Mommy wrote papers and read and did Blackboard. And he's been so supportive to do that. But it took that extra help to get it done. My extended family sacrificed holiday time so that I could work, because it never failed. We always had a paper somewhere around a holiday. And I have a group of close women, kind of my accountability partners, who constantly encourage me. They check on me, they ask me what I'm doing, how am I doing, and they listen to me when I'm trying to share something that they really have no idea about. But they listen. And without this network at home, because I'm traveling across the country, I may not have finished. And my cohort will tell you the same type of stories. It takes support to do it. So find your support. Find those people that you can rely on to help you get through. And the most interesting part is that a support system for me came in the most unexpected way. A cohort. I'd never heard of a cohort or a cohort model. And I came in, but Cohort 37 has been amazing. It's the most amazing group of women who, without their support, without their love, I wouldn't have been able to finish. I looked forward to beginning each class and coming Not only because I would learn something new, but to catch up, to have face-to-face time, to go get pedicures, to go to dinner, to take tours of the city. We spent time together. And that's what it took to develop those relationships so that we can encourage and we could care for each other. To the new class, I know you're feeling overwhelmed a little, but I promise, if take anything from me today, take this. Your cohort will be what gets you through the next 2 years. Take that time to spend with them, to get to know them, to rely on them. Go out to dinner after class, even when you really want to decompress. Go and don't talk about school. Go have fun with each other. Know who each other truly is, because then when those times get hard, those papers get difficult, you're feeling overwhelmed with everything you have to do, you'll have someone who's doing it right there with you, that you can call and say, okay, what are we doing? What do we have to do? And I promise it will be the way that you make it through. Thank you for my cohort. I couldn't have done it without you guys. But I look forward to seeing what we will do together now after we get done. We're going to have to do it in Texas though. You see, there's kind of a running joke with my cohort that every time I come to Philadelphia, something crazy happens with the weather. So in the past 2 years, the other thing I know is I'm not coming back to Philadelphia for a long time, and everybody who lives here will be very happy about that. You see, in my classes, I have taken the last flight out before a hurricane, a superstorm, an ice storm, I've been delayed by severely dense fog that they couldn't fly out, and a snowstorm in October, an earthquake in DC that was felt here, all while I traveled here. So, Philadelphians, rest assured, I won't come back. Y'all can breathe a little easier. And if I do, I have a layover plan. Because here's what happened. Yesterday, I had to lay over in Minneapolis for the first time. Usually it's a direct flight. But it was snowing in May in Minneapolis. So I left it there. I didn't bring it. So that's my new plan. I'm going to go with a layover in some place I don't really care what happens, and then I'll fly here. So I figured it out. It just took me 11 trips to get that done. But rest assured, layovers or my cohort will come to me in Texas and deal with 110-degree heat. So, what else can I tell you today that I know? Well, I know more about my calling, about who I am, my purpose in life now, and I'm much better equipped to fulfill that. In our last class, we had to reflect a lot about our purpose and our goals in life. And I don't get to stand here today and say, oh, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I have it all planned out. And I don't get to say that I have the perfect nonprofit job that I'm going to. I'm still a teacher, I'm still a children's minister, and I still run some inner-center ministries, but I now can do them better. And I know what I'm doing, and I know how to do it more effectively, so that I can fulfill my calling, which is to make sure that everybody I meet is positively affected by our relationship, especially children and families in poverty. That is my area that I've honed in. I don't know exactly what that looks like in my future. I don't know exactly what that does, but I do know that I am ready to be able to do that better. And I get to experience and I get to make it happen. Each week, I go into one of the most poverty-stricken neighborhoods in Waco, a town that already lives with most of its population below the poverty line. And every child that I go and I meet with in our, what we call the Blue House, I get to inject a little bit of hope and a little bit of love to make life better there. So I get to meet with people around the community, and I get to tell them about this little blue house on the corner and how it has lowered crime rates by 1/3 in 2 years. How despite being directly across from the Planned Parenthood abortion clinic, the rates for that area are virtually nothing, because I get to counsel families on the option and walking through the process together. And I get to look at the graffiti that the kids have now tagged on our door that says, please come more. Not anything vulgar, not anything gang related. And know that I'm making a difference because of the relationships that my husband and I have made together with the families in that community. And now I get to build upon that and build from the relationships I have to manage these better. I know that I'm better equipped to do this. I know that I can perform a SWOT and make problem trees and objective trees and a logic model for each program. I can evaluate a program and volunteers, and I can better manage the volunteers that I have. And a whole host of other skills I've still not gotten to use yet, but will now that I have a little more free time. We'll see. So, as I prepare, and as my classmates prepare to graduate and to leave Eastern, each of us has built upon our strengths. We've learned in areas that we were weak, and we can lead with confidence that we will make a positive difference in our spheres of influence, in our areas of passion, in our careers. And without the learning that has taken place, we would not be as prepared to fulfill the callings that God has laid on each of our lives. And so my prayer for each one of us in this room, new journey, starting school, finishing school, and now those of you who are just well on your journey, is that of Paul's to the Ephesians when he says, "My prayer is that light will flood your hearts and that you will understand the hope that was given when God called you. Then you will discover the glorious blessings that will be yours together with all God's people, because you are holy partners in a heavenly calling." We are all called to nonprofit work, to leadership, to make a difference for people that we come across, that we lead. And it can be in different areas like education, sports, healthcare, immigration reform, academia, whatever your area. Let us all go and impact others as we leave this place, knowing how to make small and large changes in our world. And the final thing that I know today is that in this room, there is enough passion, talent, and knowledge to make a profound difference in the world, because we will each do our part.